Well, this is true that I don't know, 10 years ago we are in the middle of the economic crisis, 2008, and so we look for new ways to organize. There are some calls from very relevant agents, stakeholders of the economy, asking for the refundation of the capitalist system, and then we look for many answers, and we pay attention to the sharing and collaborative economy, as if this model could be a driver, could be a new model, a new economic model to go out from the crisis, basically, so 10 years ago. And there were calls from the Europe to address, to see this possibility. And that is why I'm here. We participate in a European project called Open Doors, that is from a Interreg Med call that ask if there is possible to boost the sharing and collaborative economy as a way for the Med regions specifically, because it was a Med program, to use it as a driver of socioeconomic development. So at this time, so you have to think that that we were in 2000. I think the call is from 2013. We get the project. We get the project in 2015, or we began the project in 2015, and we ended it at 2017. So we have a process from 3 years of this moment. So at this time, well, there is a growing economic importance, relevance of the sharing economy. At least in turnover, it's not really clear in terms of profits. But the key question was not only this economic dimension, but that it implies another behavior, another values. So that is not only to maximize the utility, that is the traditional model, but to share and to collaborate. That is very human, intrinsic aim. No, so that's to use this prone to collaborate of humankind. No. Yes. Well, then we developed this project asking, well, this is only a fad, so it's another way to do business as usual, or it really can change and could promote the socioeconomic development in a different way. That was the question of our project. And then we read some literature at this moment, and there are some very exaggerated declarations at this moment. So like Rifkin, so the sharing economy could be the third industrial revolution. The sharing economy will replace capitalism and socialism. And this optimistic approach of the sharing and collaborative economy will or could support a more sustainable form of consumption and a more decentralized and equitable and sustainable economy. So the first declaration were very optimistic. What about are we speaking when we speak about this optimistic approach? Well, what means sharing economy? How we have to characterize this economy to think that this is a new model of doing things, and not is only a market or a branding approach? Well, the participants of this sharing economy should have a self-awareness of belonging to a new way of doing things. So they have to interiorize that they are doing things in an innovative way. The second question is that we have to use, or we could use, technological platform, because this technological platform could reduce this transaction cost to establish exchanges, market exchanges. But the thing goes a bit beyond of this technical question. No? So, with this technical approach, we can improve many aspects of the exchanges in this information, the cost of information, the not only the transaction cost. And at the beginning, we thought that this mediation through technological platforms could reduce the asymmetry of information, because we can access to all the prices of the market, we can access to all the information of the market through the technological platforms. The third feature is that this exchange is a more decentralized way to do exchange, and that is good, because it's more participative, more extended. There are no hierarchies. There are no principal agents and other agents. So we are all at the same level. The fourth feature is that it's a way, or we can say that it's a way to reuse idle assets, or we can use resources that usually are not considered resources for many reasons. But one reason is that to convert these resources in market goods have high transaction costs. So, and with all this process, we can put many other things in the market and exchange these new resources. But we have to work in a framework of new values. So this sharing or collaborative discourse is a kind of social utopianism, and came from different fields and different theories around the value, the social value. That means that we have not only to behave trying to maximize the utility in a way of homo economicus, but we have to achieve more social and collaborative and common global ends. And another question is that the platform, the sharing economy, is not to reduce the social interaction, but to build new and reinforced social capital. So the space of exchange is not only a space for exchange goods in the market, but has a value itself. So we want to share in places, in markets. So this is a very Mediterranean way of sociability. The important question is not only to exchange goods, but to share spaces, to share values, to share time, so to build social capital. And finally, the rules that manage this sharing economy are rules less coercive and are more mechanisms of self-building of trust and reputation. Well, with this all optimistic approach of what is sharing economy, we surf in the sunny side of the sharing economy, and then we can use the sharing economy to reduce the consumption cost, to amplify our social relationships, to increase the transparency, to decentralize the economy. So to take care of providers that are not in the center of the markets, in the physical markets. And of course, we can rationalize and use better use the resources in a more sustainable way. So this is the sunny side of the sharing and collaborative economy. And really, at some moments, we try that we can use this model to improve the situation, especially in these med regions in the middle of the last decade, playing with more resources, playing with more agents in the economy, and making the economic model more fair. No? But if we have to think, well, why we make some exchanges in the market, and why we make some exchanges in the non-market context? Well, there are different reasons. The market is a very efficient way to do exchanges, but it's not the only one. We need many things to use the market, and we have a very strong regulatory, and we need law, and we need policy, and so on. So it seems simple, but it's not simple to build up a market. And of course, with this approach, we go to the market, and we try to maximize our utility, and then a buyer and a seller think the equilibrium point, and there is a transaction in this market. The two players, the solution is win-win. No? What we do in the non-market exchanges? Well, we exchange many things, not in the market. And why we don't exchange? We share, and we donate in non-market context. And why we do that? Well, for many reasons. There are some technical reasons. So technical reasons is very easy to, without the technological platform, to find a buyer for my used clauses. So it's not easy to do that. So in a physical context. So there are technical questions, and of course there are some value questions. So why I don't use the market to provide to my small daughter with reading a book in the night before going to sleep? Well, because it's a space to share things, but could be a market good. Of course, we use the market for doing many things. But there are some spaces that we want to not go into the market, because we get some rewards, other kind of rewards, non-price rewards, but we get the rewards of psychological rewards. We get the rewards of sharing, the joy of sharing, the expectation that in the future we will get some reward because other will share, or we will care for us, and so on. So there are many other rewards, like the sense of belonging to a community, and so on. So that works very well, and many of our exchanges are out of the market. So if we think what all the exchanges we make in one day, so probably the majority of the exchanges we make are non-market exchanges. But if we merge these two possibilities, then we have, from the non-market space to the market space, we can pollute the market space with value. So what means the sharing or the collaborative economy? May represent some change in the consumer behavior, that we are not only worried by our individual utility. We are not only homo economicus. We belong to a community. We care for others, and we can translate or put this motivation in the market decisions, and not only to maximize utility in sense of prices and individual utility. So in this sense, the sharing economy could be a new economic model if we can put all these values in the market exchanges. But there is another way of influence or pollution that if we put all this non-market exchange in a market context, we can see very easy the opportunity cost. So that means that we see how much we lose for not putting these exchanges in the market. And that pollutes the values of the non-market exchange realm. And we have to say that till now, if there is some, we can say some battle or some struggle between these market values and these sharing and collaborative economy values, we have to say that up to now we have traveled to the dark side of the market of the sharing economy. We finished this project in 2017. We make a formal declaration of Valencia Declaration of the Sharing and Collaborative Economy, but from this moment, the new calls on the projects are focusing more, like the Shine project, in the risk of the sharing, not so much in the opportunities of the sharing economy, but on the risk of the sharing economy or the collaborative economy. And so there is a decline in this sense of the view of using the sharing and collaborative economy as a driver of socioeconomic development. And now we see all this dark side that you work very well, this dark side of the sharing economy or the collaborative economy in terms of use of workers and terms of taxes, in terms of loss of welfare and so on. No? So we can say in this sense, and I finish with that at this moment up to now, this battle between the values of the sharing and collaborative collaboration, which are innate and universal to humankind, and this capacity of the traditional capitalist model to occupy all the holes at this moment. I think that this battle at this moment is won by the traditional capitalism, but I think that this is a battle, but not the war, and we can succeed in the future. Thank you very much.
So many thanks for this explanation, which I consider really interesting, especially because you are an economist, and normally we tend to consider economists more occupied with the idea of efficiency than to introduce these other ideas which are essential, I consider. And also because I consider really interesting, and I share and I completely agree with the analysis you have made about the evolution that we have seen. I consider that this evolution in the last decade is an example of how infectious the capitalism may be, and market values and market dynamics can be, but also how powerful they are. So the idea would be whether it's possible or not using regulation and using legal tools, for instance, but not only legal tools, but in our case, our issue is legal tools. Is it possible by using legal tools to try to retune a bit this dynamic and extracting the positive thing of this so powerful tool, which is market, but also trying to enhance, if possible, these other values that are also part of our social beings and that may be enhanced using some kind of instruments. And the idea 10 years ago was that the sharing economy, the sharing tools and digital tools were a powerful tool to try to introduce these social issues, these social values, these social interactions. But in the end, the result has been that the capitalism and market dynamics and these tools have given us so much information about what we can lose if we do not take the chance, we do not take the opportunity, that on the final result, it seems to have been the other, the idea that more and more. I don't know if you agree on that, but we can take some questions or reactions to Pau Rausell's exposition. I see that for the moment online we do not have any comment or reaction. I don't know if we can have here Does anyone wanted to ask anything? Gabriel?
Yeah, thank you for this very interesting presentation. And my question is, I think there are basically two types of, I don't know, collaborative economy systems or digital platform systems. The ones where, well, market values are more important, and the ones where there is no price, or those exchange, or I don't know, values are much more important. And I think they are different animals. So, and that's why. And my question is, would it be possible to be a third kind of animal, and where there is this pollution? I don't know in which sense, maybe in both directions, because we've seen that maybe in EBI at the beginning, EBI at the beginning was that kind of platform, but now I guess it's a capitalist system. But there could be a third kind of digital platform system, which is more or less a mix between those two models.
Well, I think you know at the beginning, well, this approach of these projects, of the Open Doors projects, was an approach of political economy approach. So we are thinking in developing regional platforms for using cars in the in rural areas, in the inside Greece, or inside the Spain, to share cars, but from local and regional platforms. And I think this is a very important question. So the who designed the technological platform is not neutral. So, and we have lost this battle. We cannot, we have not the skills, the capability to develop efficient, nice, working technological platforms. And I think this is not only a technical question. So to control, and who control, and who has the skills and the capabilities to develop these platforms, could inform and could develop the platform in this more third way. So, and I think that the problem for Europe is that we have lost the battle, the technological battle, so it's not a very complicated question, technology, from the technological question of point of view, but it's really that we don't have European platforms. We don't have so all the platforms are controlled by these big players at the world. And I think this is a very important question. And probably if we, with this regulation, or I don't know how to reinforce the capacity or the ability to develop these kinds of platforms, maybe the question could change a little bit. But